Hey guys, so tomorrow is my birthday. Don't ask how old I'm turning because I'm not telling. Tomorrow I will take more footage of our adventures because we are going on a birthday adventure tomorrow. But in the meantime, check out what my awesome friend Yo-Yo got me. Boom. So this is called Vinique. It's vodka and Moscato wine. And check out what it does. Let's see. Pretty freaking cool if you ask me. I've seen other videos online about it, and that sparkle actually stays no matter what you pour it into, even if you mix it. So I'm really excited to try it, and yay for the festivities and for all the birthday fun that's coming. Hey guys, it's Lele. This is my birthday weekend video. Unfortunately, it got cut really short due to an ATV accident I was in, but in this video you'll see all about that. So I had a camping weekend planned with family and friends for my birthday, and we left the day before my birthday, and the first day went really well. Everything was great, and we drove up to the mountain. We went to Crooked Finger, and we set up a huge tent area, a huge camping area. And the first night was great. We went ATVing, we had great drinks. Great food, a lot of fun, had glow sticks, glow necklaces, glow bracelets. It was a lot of fun. And then I woke up and I felt great, and I was excited to start my birthday day. I got a bunch of presents like flowers and a knife. It's a really cute pink knife. But then unfortunately I wanted to play a little too hard, and as you'll see in the rest of the video, things kind of ended from there. Obviously, my family stopped filming and ran to get the ATV off me as soon as I flipped. So you don't get to see the actual flip, but you do get to see what happened right before it. Here is my helmet. So I don't know if you can tell or not, but there's a big gash, well, a lot of gashes kind of all over the place. And then a nice big chip, 2 chips right there. Bunch of chips up here, a few chips up there. So, I mean, thank God I was wearing the helmet, and I've always been really big on helmets because of this, but obviously if this stuff would have been my skull directly, that would have really been a lot more damaging than I'm already suffering from. So, yeah, helmets, guys, always, if you're going to be out there doing crazy sports, make sure you're protected because you never know when something like this could happen to you. Aside from that, I did mess up my quad. We fixed the alignment, which is good because it was really bad in the front. But obviously I broke the fender, which is nice. Okay, the lighting isn't so great in here, but as you can see, all the scuffing on the handlebars there. The alignment was messed up too, but luckily we were able to fix that. Hey guys, so I just wanted to do an update portion for the end of this video because there's a lot of holes in it. Most of you who follow me on social media
know that on my birthday this year, I got into a bad ATV accident and I flipped my quad and I got pinned underneath it. So I am about 7 months out from the accident, like around there. And unfortunately, I still have a lot of problems from it. So I just wanted to kind of give an update of where I'm at now and everything that did happen. Okay, so it was my birthday and we went camping, which you can see in the video, and we were about to go to Camp Dakota. We had planned to go ziplining and do the like rock climbing and the aerial rope course. And we were waiting for my friend to come meet us up there. And so we were killing time on the quads, which is fine because we quad all the time. And we were taking this jump, like repetitively taking this jump. And we were just about to go, and at the very last second, I was like, one more, let me just get one more. And I said, I don't know why, I just had this feeling, and I said, give me my helmet, I need my helmet. So I put my helmet on, and I took this jump, and it was the stupidest jump ever. In hindsight, I don't know what I was thinking taking the jump, because just in terms of terrain, it was the stupidest thing I ever did. You can see in the video very clearly that I basically took a jump in front of a wall of rocks. So here's the terrain. Usually if you do a jump, you're going to want to land and go straight. I took a jump that was literally against a wall like this. So I jumped, landed, and went up the wall and back down. I don't know what I was thinking. I wasn't thinking, obviously. And I wish a lot of things. I wish I hadn't taken the jump. If I was going to, I wish I would have taken it on different terrain. I wish I would have had more gear on. This is what happened. So I flipped my quad. I got knocked out for a bit. When I woke up, the quad was still on me. The guys were trying to get the quad off of me, and I couldn't feel my legs at all from the waist down, and I really thought I was paralyzed, and I was freaking out. And as soon as they got the weight of the quad off, all of a sudden I could feel everything in my legs again. So I was like, okay, I'm not paralyzed, thank God. And I shot up like a little kangaroo, just boop, boom, let's go. I'm ready to go, let's go. And everyone's like, what is wrong with you? And I'm bleeding all over my back. My knees are already starting to swell and double up. Every ounce of me is scraped and bleeding. And I'm just like, let's go ziplining, let's go. Like, they'll be here any minute. That's called shock, guys. And it's something to be very aware of if, God forbid, you guys are ever in a situation, because it's amazing what shock does to the body. I really didn't feel anything. I had a headache from jump. I had a headache. I remember standing up and thinking, man, my head hurts. But it was a manageable headache. It wasn't even like a migraine headache. It was just a headache. And so I was like, let's go. And everyone's like, no, you're not going. And I was like, yes, I am. It's my birthday. We came here to do this. We're doing it. We did it. So we went to Camp Dakota, and I did the aerial course. I didn't go ziplining. I didn't do the rock course, but my daughter did. And I did do the aerial course. I barely remember it. Like, it's like in a movie where you kind of see blurbs of memories. That's how I remember it. It was so foggy and weird. And then we were driving back to the campsite afterwards, and I kept falling asleep. We had to run to the store for something. I don't even remember most of it. I just kept passing out and passing out. And then by the time we got back to the campsite, I was barfing my brains out. I think that night I probably threw up like 20 times. That's not an exaggeration. I was literally throwing up and throwing up and throwing up. And I couldn't stay awake. Like, I kept saying, like, I'm so sorry you guys are all here, but I have to sleep. Like, something's wrong. I need to sleep. I'm so tired. And I ended up falling asleep, which they say you're not supposed to do, but it was hours after, And then, I don't know. I think I fell asleep. I mean, I fell asleep very early. I don't know, somewhere between 9 and 11-ish. The whole thing was a blur, so I don't really know, to be honest with you. And then about, 2 a.m., I woke up in so much pain. And I was thinking, well, you're sleeping on rocks, either you're camping, who knows. So I went and slept in the truck thinking it'd be more comfortable. But it wasn't. At 6 a.m., I couldn't even, lift my head. I was in the worst pain you could ever imagine. And I kind of stumbled my way back out of the truck into the tents to let my husband and family and friends know that we need to pack up. I need to go to the hospital. So we did that. We had to, of course, load all the quads and pack up all the gear and then drive into the city because we were up in the mountains and then get to the hospital. By the time all that happened and I got to the hospital, I was delirious. I again remember pieces of it. I don't remember getting into the hospital. I remember crying in the back where they're trying to take like your blood pressure and stuff because I couldn't sit up. Like she needed to take my vitals and I couldn't even sit upright for her to do that, and I was like just so frustrated with the situation. And then I remember them wheeling me back, and I kind of remember them. I remember I got in a really bad fight with the nurse there. He was like trying to help me, but he thought I had broke my neck. They all thought I had broke my neck. So they were being crazy with my neck, and they were like not letting me move, and they were bracing me and like locking everything up, and I was just so pissed off that they were messing with me, and it was crazy. I remember being moved from like machine to machine and wheeled from hospital room to hospital room, and I don't know, it was all a blur, a crazy blur, but I remember the pain. Like I will never forget that pain. I don't remember most of the hospital, but I know that I'm told that there's no major breaks anywhere and there's no bleeding in my brain, but I have a lot of trauma to the brain. And then I need to there's nothing they can do for me other than time. Mind you, when I went home, I couldn't even sit upright. I literally could not. Like I had to lay down in the truck. I could not move my head. Getting into that house was impossible. And then for a month straight after that, I couldn't even get from like A to B. Like to go to the bathroom was excruciating for me. Like I literally had to crawl on my hands and knees, swear to God, just to pee. Getting into the bathtub was like someone torturing me. I would bawl my eyes out in this bathtub, praying to God to make it stop. A shower was not gonna happen. I couldn't stand up. I couldn't walk at that point. So for a good month, I was strictly on the bed, on the floor, could not move. It took me forever to get from one room to another, and it was hands and knees, bawling my eyes out the entire time. It was horrible. I have never in my life. So when I was 17, I had a spinal tap done, and something went really wrong, and all the fluid around my brain had drained out through my spinal column, so my brain was sitting directly on my skull. It's called a spinal leak or something like that. I don't remember. It's called a spinal headache. You can probably Google spinal headache. And I was 17, and that pain was so insane. Like they had to put me in the hospital. They had to sedate me for like days until all the blood patches would take. And I didn't think that there was pain worse than that in my life. I really thought, like to this day, I have like phobias. As soon as I get a headache, I'm terrified that that's going to happen to me. This accident is 100-fold that pain. To be honest, I did not think that the human body could A, experience pain at that level in the first place, and B, could sustain pain for that long. For a month straight, with all the painkillers that they could give me, I was in the worst pain more pain than I even knew was physically possible to experience. And by the way, I have the highest pain tolerance of any human being I've personally met in my life. So that speaks so many volumes, it's not even funny. I never want to feel anything like that again. So like 3 weeks, I just couldn't do anything. Within like that last week of that month, I was starting to kind of like, I'd stand up for a few minutes and then take like 3 steps, and then oh my God, I'd have to get back down. Or I'd get to the fridge, but I couldn't get back to the floor, or whatever. We would try really scary things. Like my husband would get me into the truck and we would try to drive around, and it would just be a catastrophe. I would just be bawling. We'd have to turn around and come back home. About 6 weeks in, I made it to the store. I was so proud of myself. I was in so much pain, you guys, you don't even know. But I was still walking and moving. Maybe 10 minutes in, I had to go lay in the truck while they finished. And then the whole way home, I was crying my eyes out. I didn't want to leave the house again. But after about a month and a half or so, I was able to be upright and walking for, periods of time. And I think it was like 2 months before I could go back to work. My doctor didn't want me to go back to work for like more than a few hours at a time, which was so frustrating. But at the same time, like I really was struggling. My eyes were not, I couldn't. So what ended up happening, I got put in physical therapy, like a brain physical therapist. And so how they explain it, outside of the pain that's coming from here, which obviously radiates up your neck and into your head, I don't know the brain, right? I'm not a neurologist or anything like that. But at some level, your eyes and your ears and your body all talk to your brain at once. So how it was explained to me as, so your eyes are at this level, and when your body moves down or up or left or right, your eyes and brain talk to each other, and before any movement happens, they all go together. Mine don't do that. So right now my brain's not talking to my eyes, right? Like there's a delay somehow. There's like some sort of misfire. So when my body starts to move up and down, my eyes are like, wait, we're moving? And then they kind of trail back. So here I'm going up and my eyes are like all confused, and then they kind of try to catch up. Go down and like, oh, wait for me. So there's this delay with my eyes, which I guess then goes to your ears, which is what centers you, like has your balance and all that stuff. There was a point in time with my physical therapy that I literally like lost my mind in physical therapy. I was so pissed off. I was like F-bombing every 2 seconds. I was almost in tears because I literally could not stand. You ever see those police videos and they make you stand with one foot in front of the other and you walk? Legit, I couldn't just do this. I couldn't put one foot here, one foot here. I could not. I was falling over. And we're not talking like on your tippy toes. I could not flat-footed stand like this for even like 3 seconds. Okay, so maybe I could stand for like 10 seconds, but then she would say, close your eyes. Boom, biffed it. To not be able to stand just with one foot in front of another for no reason when you're completely sober, that was really hard for me. And so I had to just learn that this is a really, really long process. And even though I didn't feel any of my injuries. You know, that's the craziest thing. So I literally, my back was, I already have a horrible back to begin with. I've already had to deal with surgeons and specialists for my back for a long time. I fractured my back bungee jumping when I was 15, and it's never been the same since. And so you would think flipping on your back with a quad on top of it, your back would be in so much pain. I'm sure it was, but I didn't feel it. My knees were doubled over. I was bleeding everywhere. Every ounce of my body was covered in bruises and lacerations. I never felt an ounce of them, like at all, the entire time, the entire healing process. To this day, I don't have any memory of pain in any of those areas at all. Just my head. And the doctor explained to me that when your body is in when you're in that much pain in one area, your body cannot handle the overload of feeling the pain everywhere else. So it only focuses on that one thing because it just can't physically take anymore. So I suppose in a way it's nice that I didn't feel all the other injuries, but I would have rather felt all of those tenfold than felt what I felt. With that, physically looking at me, even like a few weeks out, the bruising was going away, the lacerations were healing, and so I physically looked okay on the outside, but I so was not. And now it's easy to look at me and be like, well, you're active again, and you're walking again, and you're talking again, and you look fine, but I'm not. I'm still so messed up, and like, it's things that like, I just, like my speech. I've always been a very articulate person. I'm very quick with my words. I don't have to think about things. I don't stutter. I don't have any sort of impairments with my speech. And I'm constantly stumbling like that. I'm constantly stumbling over my words. I'm having trouble like finding words. I'm morphing words, so I'm putting them in weird orders that they don't need to be in. I do stutter here and there, and I'm like, what the heck was that? And then on top of that, my memory is, I can't retain things very well. My husband will just be like, man, babe, I told you this like 100 times. Babe, we just talked about this. Babe, like it's gotta be frustrating for him. I know it's damn frustrating for me. Like, I'm not remembering things at all. There's like a sort of a delay sometimes when I'm watching something, and then I'm like, wait, what did I just watch? Or where was I just going? What was I gonna do again? I know I was gonna say something. And so there's like, it's frustrating to not be in control of what's happening in your body. So anyways, long story short, I ended up with a lot of brain trauma. They couldn't believe my knees weren't broken because they were so disgustingly jacked up, but they weren't. Nothing was broken. My neck was not broken. They were almost positive my neck was broken because of the way my body was reacting to certain, I guess, things they were doing, but it wasn't broken. Although 7 months out, my neck and shoulders are a nightmare. I have to sleep with a heating pad every night. Honestly, I would live with it permanently on there if I could, but I can't. I'm supposed to be in physical therapy, but I can't because things are just kind of crazy right now. But hopefully this will get situated at some point. I don't know. I'm in pain 24/7. But aside from that, I have so many other issues. Yeah, the neck and the back and all that stuff is very messed up. But in the accident, I lost 2 teeth. One of them came out right then. Like, I spit it out by the time we got back to the campsite. And then another one, I didn't know. It was hurting really bad for a long time. And I finally went to the dentist, and he said that it had broke. The way that the tooth had broke, it actually broke into the jawbone itself. So he had actually cut part of my jawbone out to even get to where the tooth had broke. It was crazy. And then I actually broke part of my actual jawbone as well. So at some point, like a couple months ago, I was like yawning or something, I don't know, and my jaw, not just like, I have TMJ, so it locks sometimes, but it straight like went like this, like it's separated. I couldn't close it, I couldn't push it back in. It was craziness. And I got it back in, and then it never really felt like it had hinged properly. So my dentist, whatever, took a look at it, and he said that, so there's 2 hinges in your jaws, like little nooks, and they're both like round, and they're just like a joint, right? So they go like this. Somehow, on one of them, I don't remember which one, I think this one, because this is where all the pain is, I had actually like cracked the ball joint. So like, instead of it both being round and going like this, one of them is like pointed and like kind of like not round anymore, so it doesn't hinge properly. So when I yawn and stuff, I have to be really careful. I have to like slowly close my mouth, and it just sucks really bad. It's always really tight in there. Like I said, I lost 2 teeth. One of them was in the front, which is so vain, but it is what it is. I'm a girl. I don't want my teeth missing in the front. My eyes are really bad. So actually right before the accident, I mean, not like a day before, but a few months before the accident, I had PRK eye surgery to like correct my vision. And then I had the accident, and I have all this brain trauma, and my eyes have been crazy. Like, they have been progressively getting better, but at first, oh my god, I couldn't see anything. It was so freaking, like, it was crazy. So we knew right away that a lot of it was from the brain injury, but as things started calming down and months went by, I wasn't sure if the rest of my vision issues were the PRK not taking, or if it was still head injury related. So I've been to the eye doctors, like a million times since I've been stable and walking and everything like that. So they ran like a million tests, and they keep checking me, and they put me on steroids and take me off steroids. They put plugs in my eyes thinking there was issues with like wetness and all that, which I do. I have dry eyes since the surgery, but that's anyways. And so I guess the conclusion as of this week is that, well, last time I went was like 2 weeks ago, and she said, you know, I'm pretty sure this is all accident related, and we can't find anything on our end that's correctable. This is it looks like it's your brain still having problems with your eyes. So I said, okay, whatever. So then I went this week, and she said, you know, I've never seen whatever this is. Like, your eyes are doing something really weird. I don't know if it's from the accident. I don't know if it's from us. I don't know if it's a combination of the two. And so I have to see the surgeon in a couple months to see if it's something that is fixable on their end, or if it's a brain issue or whatever. So this is still a long thing with my eyes. So yeah, I mean, at this point, like I said, all the superficial stuff is done. I can always replace the teeth. I'll always have to be careful with my jaw because it separates now because of the hinge being messed up, so it completely dislocates. But what are you gonna do? But in terms of the brain, I have a lot of memory issues. I'm not retaining things. I'm very slow now. Like, someone says something, sometimes there's a delay. If I'm watching something, there's kind of like, wait, what did I just watch? What was I doing? Where was I going? And I'm having some speech issues that I've never had. I've always had very fluid speech. I've always been very articulate and very quick with my words. My brain to mouth has been very, very fast. And now I'm like having to think before I speak, and not in a PC sort of way, in a like, wait, what am I trying to say sort of way. And I have stutters here and there, which are weird. I fumble over my words, like legit, like my tongue is not, I don't know, it's weird. And yeah, I don't know, it's just crazy. Like, I don't know. It's very weird to feel like I don't have control over my brain or my body, to still get so dizzy and to still have all this like feeling and all that so long out is kind of crazy. But I'm just keep so like 2 years ago, I think it was 2 years ago, I actually had a concussion because I went to Canada, which I don't know if you guys know what that is, but it's a outdoor hot springs water park. And I tried to be a badass and do a flip in shallow water and almost basically knocked myself out underwater because they hit the bottom floor, and I gave myself a really good concussion. I spun for months. It was horrible, but nothing else came of it. I just spun for months. Apparently, once you have one concussion that's at that level, having another one is just tenfold the severity. And so I was basically told that I'm at like a football player status, to where if I have another injury to my head, it could be very, very detrimental. I can never get hit in the head again. And I don't know how long this is gonna last, which is so scary for me because I'm over it, and I know I'm grateful to be alive. I'm grateful that it was me and not the kids or my husband. I'm grateful that I'm up and walking, because this time 7 months ago I couldn't even go to the bathroom by myself. I couldn't do anything for myself. So I am very blessed, but I would like to at some point be done with this. So we'll see. And I just want to say some things for you guys. I was really naive going into this. Yeah, I had a helmet on. Thank God. You guys seen my helmet. Imagine if I didn't. But I had nothing else on. I had gloves. And my hands were still jacked up. But there's these shoulder plates that riders wear a lot of times, and I think if I had shoulder plates on, I think a lot of the shock to my back and my shoulders would have been deflate. I don't think that I would have had so much shock damage to my back and my shoulders, especially my shoulders, because that's what's really messed up. My dentist told me just like a couple weeks ago, if you had had a mouth guard in, you probably wouldn't have done this much damage to your jaw and your teeth. Yeah, he's right. I should have had a mouth guard in. I honestly didn't even think about a mouth guard. To me, a mouth guard, I think of like boxing and football and stuff like that. So I didn't even think about it. But had I had a mouth guard in, absolutely, I think a lot of the damage to my face would have been better. As for my eyes and my brain, I had a helmet on. There's not much more I could have done for that, and that probably would have happened no matter what. But with that, I also should not have been jumping where I was jumping. The terrain was so... like, you don't jump in terrain like that. Like, you have to be aware of your surroundings, and you have to be aware of what could happen to you. And it was my birthday. I was cocky. I was trying to have more fun than I needed to have, and I paid the price for it. And I want everyone to just, if you're gonna ride, look, I'm getting back on. I have not been riding since the accident. I'm gonna be honest, I'm scared. But I want to go. I absolutely want to go. The weather's getting nice here soon, and as soon as it's getting really nice, I want to go back on. I'm not jumping for a while for sure, but I want to get back on. But I was still learn from me. I'm grateful that I didn't have worse done to me, but it was horrible. It was not something I ever want anyone I care about to ever experience, and it's not something I ever want to experience again. Wear the gear, not just the helmet. Oh my God, please wear your helmet. I wouldn't be here without the helmet. I would be either vegetable or dead without that helmet. So please, always wear your helmet. But I need to wear gear, guys. Wear the gloves, wear the shoulder pads, wear the mouth guards. I know it sometimes looks ridiculous. I know when it's hot out, it's really uncomfortable. But it's a lot better than the alternative. And be aware of your surroundings. Don't take a jump on a wall. You know what I mean? If you're on flat land and you're gonna go forward and out, okay, just be really careful with it. But do not jump at an incline where you're gonna flip over like I did. Like that I don't have answers for what I was thinking that day. I obviously wasn't thinking that day. Hindsight is 2020, right? I mean, I guess that's all I can say. Wear the gear, guys. I know it's annoying and uncomfortable, and it's not the cutest shit in the world, but it might save your life, and it might save you months and years of heartache and stress and pain, whatever. Yeah, so enjoy riding. Ride. I'm not saying don't. I will never live my life in a bubble. no matter what, because that's not what life is for. But I am definitely paying the price for not being aware of my surroundings and not taking the precautions that I should. So what are you gonna do? Anyways, yeah, so I know that a lot of people have asked me through social media where I'm at with everything. I'm not really sure what else coming. I'm still kind of a physical mess. I have a lot of issues with my brain still. I have a lot of dizziness still. I have a lot of fogginess still. I have a lot of pressure, especially when I wake up in the morning. It's really weird when I wake up. It's if I'm really tired. I have a lot of problems with my eyes. So in a few months, we have something going on in the family where we're going to be indisposed for about 2 months. So I can't do anything until then. But when I get back home from that situation, I will be going to see my eye surgeon, and he has to decide whether or not it's strictly brain or if it's something that needs another round of surgery for. And as for my jaw at this point, as long as I continue to be careful with opening and closing it, then I don't have to have surgery, but I have been told that it's something that may have to happen down the line. And I have to get back to the brain. I have to get back to the brain physical therapy. But again, like I said, I'm going to be indisposed for a few months. And I have been very preoccupied with all the prep stuff for what's coming for that particular situation. So I have not been able to do physical therapy. But once all of our family stuff is situated, I'm hoping to get back into physical therapy and figure out what's going on with my eyes, and then hopefully get myself on the mend. So I guess you'll have to stay tuned for all that, probably via social media. I'm not sure if I'll do another update on this or not. But yeah, so that's what happened on my birthday. I flipped a quad, and I ended up not able to do anything for myself for a month and a half. And 7 months later, here I am, still in pain and still just trying to get my head right. And I can't wait to go riding again. So learn from me. Don't jack yourself up being stupid. And I'm sorry if this is really boring, but I have a lot of people asking me, and honestly, when I tried to make my birthday video, there was like a huge hole because obviously the footage stopped after I flipped myself, and there was nothing else to film because I was pretty much asleep for like 2 weeks straight after that. So yeah. Alright guys, that is enough of my pity party. Until next time,